Thank you. Thank you.
And that does not mean that they're not qualified, but what it means is when you're dealing with boys, oh yeah, you need a man. The only man they see is the principal and they coach.
And the janitor.
They learn to dishonor, and the janitor. They learn to dishonor the relevancy of a woman being in a place of authority to teach them.
That's right.
Because I got that at home. Men are converted through contrast. I need something opposite of me to impact me. So when a boy sees a man, when we show up, we suited and booted, we coming in, I ain't joking and giggling and acting goofy and clowning. They automatically know authority is there because God placed authority on men.
Yeah.
You can see it here in the church. We have some women that work with our youth and youth ministry. And the little ones, our primary class, are very energetic.
Yes.
That's a good word.
Terminology, man. They're very energetic. If I go in that room, now they can be in there, they can be doing all that. If I open the door, I don't have to say nothing.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Yeah, that's what
Because I've already set a standard. When I show up, get it in order. A lot of our children here, of course, we 71%, have never had the experience of being in an environment with positive men or men, period. Y'all still here?
Yeah.
So when you start talking about service, you got to be able to service that population by creating those types of structures.
Yeah.
Where they coming in contact and encountering men of authority. Because what happens is when they don't grow up in that environment, when they get out in these streets, the men of authority that they normally run into are police.
That's right.
And that's why they despise them.
That's it.
My own daddy didn't nurture, raise, guide, train, or protect me. You gonna protect and serve me? Nigga, you don't know me. Out my face, man. You telling me nothing. I'm running this. This is my neighborhood. You don't own nothing over here, bro. You 14, what you got? You don't even own the shoes on your feet. Your mama bought them shoes. But because it's a mindset that's set in rebellion, because we won't service that. We want to ignore that. We want to wait for them to get saved, they go to another church and deliver, then we snatch them out of that church and call it church growth. We don't want to deal with people when they raw and need attention. Because you can't do this 2 times a week.
That's right.
2-hour Bible study and a 2-hour Sunday service. And you ain't transforming no lives like that. So when we go to the second verse, look what the second verse says. And be not conformed to this world. This word world in the Greek is the word cosmos, where we get the word system. So it says, do not be conformed to this system, but be transformed. This word trans means movement.
Yes.
The word form deals with structure, a structure that moves. So this is an analogy to the Ark of the Covenant, because the Ark of the Covenant was designed to move. There was 2 poles on both sides, and this ark had to be carried by the priest. This was their service. They had to bear the ark. They had to carry the glory, which means they had to be strong enough. Y'all ready for this? Let's go to Exodus real quick, because I want to show y'all something. Because we get pieces and parts. I believe it's Exodus 33. I'll make sure y'all get this. Go to Numbers 4. I'll make it easy for you. We got to exercise here. Numbers 4. Verses 1. Again, verse 1. Watch this. My mind transformation. Numbers 4:1. Then the Lord spoke to Moses and Aaron, saying, take a census of the sons of Kohath from among the children of Levi, which were the priests, by their families, by their father's house, from 30 years old above, even to 50 years old, all who enter the service, worship, to do the work in the tabernacle of meeting. Now, what I want you to see here is here's the generational thing. The only way you could be a priest was you had to be born into this line. Again, mindset. When you come up in a house full of priests and their entire life is given over to something, it's going to have an impact on you. The attorney for our church is a Messianic Jew. He's an attorney. He's a fourth generation attorney. Guess what his son just graduated from Purdue University? An attorney. Now he's in Marshall School of Law, and he's in his third year. He got one more year. He's going to graduate, and he's going to be an attorney. This is the fifth generation. When a great-great-great-grandfather came over here on the boat, he saved his money working and went to law school. He said, I don't want my family to have to do this, so I'm going to set a precedent. I'm going to plant a root of success, and then I'm going to pass that down. So every man that come through their line has become an attorney. Y'all catching it?
Yeah.
We can change the world if we just change what goes on in our families.
Amen.
Meaning we need to take responsibility to break the curse of poverty and lack and parentless and all of this stuff off of our family. Because we won't change the world, but we won't change what we do at home. Okay. We want to get folk in Africa safe.
Right.
Got my passport. We can't get you to go to 47 Indiana. But you willing to go to Africa. All right, y'all met.
Come on, amen.
Verse 4, this is the service of sons of Kohath in the tabernacle of meeting related to the most holy thing. To journey. Aaron and his sons shall come, and they shall take down the covering veil and cover the ark of the testimony with it. Now, I'm not going to go over all of the details, but I'm going to draw you something so you can have a picture. There was a cover that went over this. That's basically what this is saying. And cover the ark, the covering veil. Now, if you go into Exodus, I believe it's chapters 30 through 32, you'll find out that this veil had gold sewn into it. Y'all know gold weighs. There were 10 curtains with gold rings. All of that was laid on the ark. So you're talking about just the curtain by itself. By itself, you're talking about 50 pounds plus the ark. Okay, had to be carried. Verse 5. Verse 6. Then they shall put on it a covering of badger skins, and spread over that a cloth entirely of blue, and they shall insert its pole. So on top of this covering, they put a badger skin covering over that. Then they put a covering of blue, and then they could stick the poles in that they need to cover. Y'all got that? Yeah. Verse 7. On the table of showbread. These are there was a table that went in there. On the table of showbread, they shall spread blue cloth. So here's the table of showbread. Blue cloth on that. And put on it the dishes, the pans, the bowls, and the pitchers for pouring, and the showbread shall be on it. So on top of this, they put pans, dishes, showbread. They put all of that weight on top of that. Verse 8. Then there shall spread over them a scarlet cloth and cover the same. There was a red cloth with a covering of badger skins, and they shall insert its pole. And then they put one over there, and then they put another pole in that. They shall take a blue cloth and cover the lampstand of the light. So they put the lampstand in there and cover that with blue cloth. Its wick trimmers, its trays, and all its oil and vessels which they shall serve. So they put all of the other stuff in there. Boom, boom, boom. Then they shall put it with all its utensils in a covering of badger skins and put it in a carrying beam. So they put all of this in a badger skin and put a carrying beam on that. Over the golden altar, so they had to put the golden altar, which was this, with the angels, doohickeys like that. Blue cloth, and cover it with a covering of badger skins, and they shall insert its poles. Then they shall take all the utensils of service with which they minister in the sanctuary, put them in a blue cloth, Cover them with the covering of badger skins and put them on the carrying beam. So also, they shall take away the ashes from the altar and spread a purple cloth over it. So ashes, purple cloth over that. They shall fire pans, forks, the shovels, basins, and all the utensils, and they shall spread on it a covering of badger skins and insert its poles. Do you know how much weight they're carrying?
Right.
A lot of weight.
Which means the priests had to be strong enough to carry this thing, but they also had to work with the other priests at the other four corners to ensure that this thing does not hit the ground and to make sure that nobody who didn't, they're protected. We got folk that want to get in ministry because you think a microphone is ministry. And you have not been built to carry the weight of ministry. That's why we need processes, because you don't get that strong on one day you doing a push-up. And they carrying this thing up mountains, down ravines and valleys, across water. They got enemies shooting bows and arrows, folk with swords and spears, and they got to fight with one hand, carry a pole with the other. You got to be strong to carry this thing. You don't have to, because this is where it all starts. It had to move. It carried the glory of God. And the word glory is kabod, which meant weight. When there is no weight, there is no transformation. We just having service. There's no need for God to come in because we haven't even prepared a place for him. We just want to do what we want to do so we can go home. You say we had to. Look at what Paul says. But be transformed by the renewing. So we want minds to be transformed in the house. The whole house is filled. The house is so filled that four men that are carrying their brother come to the door, the conventional means of entrance, and it's too many people there. So they have to go to the roof, tear the roof off in the middle of Bible study, take the ropes off of their waist, and lower him down to Jesus. Because there's so many religious people there that those who are really hurting, that need an encounter with him, can't get to him. This is the problem with the church. And so we get to keep doing a whole bunch of stuff that leads people to no church. Because they're encountering people who are broken and there's no process or program to help the brokenness. So what do? They latch on to somebody else that's broken in the church. And now you got all this broken church stuff going on in your church and people get confused because we're supposed to be the saints of God. But when they look at the saints of God and how we operate and how we treat one another and how we function with one another, they're unable to discern the brokenness. So they just look at the behavior. And they say, I don't want to go to church because there's too many hypocrites in there.
Right.
And then we give them goofy stuff like, oh, we supposed to go to church for God. Well, God's supposed to be working in his people.
Come on. Yeah.
Amen.
Lord, thank you.
And we don't have no process to get. Then people just come to church and they remain unaffected, unimpacted, untransformed, unconverted for years. And then when they leave the church, we say they demonized, full of witchcraft, and you go there to that other church, and God gonna kill you. He gonna kill you. Well, I've been here for 11 years and I ain't got nothing.
Come on, man.
I've been sitting up in the same oil on me. Something is wrong.
Yes.
We've got to challenge conventional churchianity.
Amen.
We got to challenge challenge is we got to become proactive in building. We got to place a demand on the house of God to change before we can change what's going on out there. We got civil war in the house of God, and we out there trying to fix ISIS. They'll cut your neck off. They know who they trying to kill.